Hi, in this video, we will see how Java supports multiple inheritance. In our previous videos, we discussed that Java will not support multiple inheritance. But for that purpose, we can use interfaces to achieve the multiple inheritance in Java. So by taking an example, we will see how we can achieve multiple inheritance using interfaces. Let me go to Visual Studio Code. So here, I created one interface called interface E. Okay, and another interface called interface B. Okay, then we'll have some methods inside this. What is that? Public void method. This is one. Public void method E. Okay, I have two abstract methods inside the interface. Interface A. This is just a name. Okay, you can give whatever it is, but this is an interface. Here in the interface B, public void, again a method, and public void method B. Okay, here I have two abstract methods. Here I have two abstract methods, but here the common method is method, and here also method. Okay, so if you talk about this thing previously, what we discussed, if you have two classes, means two concrete classes, this is A and this is B, and if it is C, if you have method here and if you have method here, if you try to achieve multiple inheritance, means both the parents, then if you call C dot method, then which class it has to, means which method it has to access from which class. This method, from which class it has to access. Here also method, here also method. Right? If it is pure abstract classes, and if you use extends. Right? Because of that, we discuss multiple inheritance is not possible here. But when it comes to the interface, you have a interface A, interface B, and you have a class C. Right? In the interface, you have method, and here also you have method, but here there is no implementation. Here there is no implementation because these are abstract methods. Right? These are abstract methods. So when you try to, if you implement these interfaces, okay, if you use these interfaces, both interfaces, you have to implement these methods. So you will implement this method. So like this. Okay, you will have something like this. So then you implemented this method. When you create an object and C dot method, how you do like this way, but here you implemented this method itself in the C class. So normally it will get this method. Right? When you call a method, it will search in its own class whether I have this method or not. If that method is there, it will try to execute that. If it is not there, then it will search for the parent. But here there is no need to go to parent. You have that method itself inside the class. Then you can execute. But from where it came, from interface A or B, we don't bother about that. So whatever it is, so A feels that okay, it implemented method. B also feels that it implemented method. This will not complain anything. This method is not from my interface. This method is not from my interface. A and B will not complain like that. A will look into this. Okay, method is there. So it is implemented. B also looks into this. Okay, method is implemented. That's it. Okay. So now, because of this, we can achieve multiple inheritance. So now we have the method here and method here. So now I created one class. So public class C. Okay. Inside this public static void main string args. So now if I try to implement both, okay, if I try to implement both, interfaces, implements interface A, comma, interface B. Okay. So I'll try to compile this first. Okay. You go here. I am inside this Java C interface A dot Java. So no issues. Java C interface B dot Java. So I already compiled both the parent. Now I'll try to compile Java C class C dot Java. What it is saying? Class C is public, should be declared in a file name. Sorry, class C. Okay, 1 second. So you need to mention this class, right? So public class C implements interface A, comma, interface B. So previously when I say extends class A, comma, class B, here itself I got an error. Okay. So now what will happen, we'll see. Again, why it is coming? Sorry, this class is capital C. Too many typos. Okay. So again, we'll try to compile. It should not give any errors. Okay. Now what it is saying? Class C is not abstract and does not override abstract method A in interface A. So you need to implement these things. The reason is you are implementing, but it is not complaining about why you're writing 2 with a comma, right? So for that, what we need to do, we need to implement those methods. Public void method system.out.println. This is which class method? I don't know, A or B interface method. We don't bother about that. Okay. So class interface A will feel that method is implemented from interface A. Interface B feels that method is implemented from interface B. These two interfaces will not complain. The reason is it is seeing method inside this class where it is implemented. Okay. So now I'll copy these things. Method A. Okay. A from interface A. Here method B. So B from interface B. Okay, that's all. Interface B. So now I implemented everything. If you try to compile now, it will not give you any issues. You see that? No issues. But we need to call these methods, right, by creating an object to class C. So I'll say class C is equals to new class C dot method C dot method A C dot method B. So here C dot method means from which interface it is coming. We don't bother about all those things. The reason is this method is implemented inside this class. This is local, means local to this class. So when you call C dot method, it will search in its own class. I have a method inside my class or not. Yes, it is there. It will call from here. And interface A feels that this method implemented in the C class. And the same way interface B also feels that this method is implemented in this class. And class C will directly access the method from here. So no issues. This is how you achieve multiple inheritance. Now we'll try to compile again and we'll try to run. Okay, compile Java class C. You see that I'm getting all the output. A or B interface method, A from interface A, B from interface B. Right. We achieved multiple inheritance. I'm able to put a comma and I can implement more than one interface here. Okay. So this is how you can achieve multiple inheritance in Java using interfaces. So what could be the possible interview questions? What is an interface in Java? How Java supports multiple inheritance? You can give this example and you can explain. Okay. So that's all in this video. Thank you.